Hello, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to the INTJ Talk podcast. I am Taryn. It's nice to meet you if this is your first time visiting, but this is the podcast for INTJs. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. INTJ style. Don't like wasting a lot of time. So, this episode is going to be about INTJs and social media, or the lack thereof. So I'm just going to start off by saying I don't like social media. I don't vibe with social media. We don't know her. I don't know if that's just a me thing or if that's just an INTJ thing in general, but I think a lot of us don't really just do social media very much. For me, social media is just a pretty big distraction and it's used for validation, outside validation, which in itself isn't necessarily a bad thing. But INTJs, we don't need a lot of validation from people. So it misses the mark with that aspect. I've never really been into social media, even as a teenager. It's never been that interesting to me. And recently, I was trying to figure out, like, why I was not interested in social media and why it didn't appeal to me. And I realized that it's just because I don't really care very much about other people's lives. That's really it. I'm just so wrapped up in my own life that I guess I just don't really care about what other people have going on. And me and my best friend were just talking a couple of days ago, saying how the people that we're in constant contact with, in our everyday lives, people who we speak with on a daily basis, we speak to them in real life or we hang out with them. So we don't need social media to really keep up with them. And it's more so for strangers that you're posting for. I mean, well, I guess I get some people use social media for themselves. They have a business or they have art or something they want to showcase to the world. But for the most part, outside of that, I think a lot of people just use social media to post for strangers because a lot of times you don't even know these people or you don't talk to them in real life if you do know them. So that's what I really get with social media. It's just a lot of posting for strangers, people who you don't even talk to in real life, people you don't really care about. And it's kind of pointless. And that sounds bad to say because I do have a brand, Earth to Mars, of course. But even for my brand, social media wasn't a good return on investment for me, at least not at this point in life. And if you guys follow me on Instagram on Earth to Mars, you may have noticed or may not have noticed that I have not posted in months. Like, it's been months, and that's just how it's going to be indefinitely. I am off of social media indefinitely just because it's not a good ROI for me. And I really don't like it. I feel though at some point down the line, I will have to use social media again for my business, but even then, I'm really hoping to hire a social media person so I don't have to do it because I don't enjoy it. But for now, it's just not a necessity for me at this point. And honestly, sometime way down the line, once I'm really established in everything in my brand, and this sounds so counterproductive, but I want to be completely off of social media by that point. I really just want to be so off the grid and so off of social media one day that you will just see me when you see me. So that's the goal. That's the dream, to not have to use social media for anything. I think a lot of INTJs, we are like this. We just want to be off the grid. We don't really like being in the mix like that. And for those of us who are, into social media, I feel like we usually follow things of a particular interest, like a self-help page or a personal development page, or some type of niche page. It's usually not so much the people that we're interested in, but the actual thing that they're doing or showcasing. And I think I was even following an INTJ page that had just a whole lot of INTJ memes, and that was fun. I love that. I love those types of pages. I'm just not really interested in, I guess, the people aspect of it. That sounds so crazy, but that's really it. I'm not really interested in the actual people, more so the thing that they're doing that I may think is cool, or some topic that they're talking about that I'm interested in. And I get that some people really make a living off of social media. There's a lot of influencers, there's a lot of marketers, just a lot of people online who make really good money from Instagram, from Facebook, from TikTok, from all of that stuff. But it's a lot. And I think that just it plays into my introverted nature. Like, even just being on a screen, like scrolling through and just looking at different people's posts and engaging, commenting, like all of that, it's still a lot. And it still feels like it's still draining in a way. Not so much draining as whenever INTJs talk to people one on one or in real life, but it's still like an aspect of that. It's an aspect of that interaction, of that engagement that still is very draining. And that's another reason why I don't like social media, because it's like I'm drained on a daily basis just from dealing with the general public. So even having to do social media, that's another way for my battery to drain. And I don't want that. I don't want to sound like this big social media hater, even though I kind of am, but it don't do it for me. It doesn't. I don't know how you guys feel about this, if you feel kind of similar, but I don't know. I feel like INTJs, we're okay with social media. We can be okay with it, but if it goes away today, we would be 100% okay with that. I'm always interested in knowing you guys' opinions on these topics. So let me know down below in the comment section if you guys feel similar about social media, or if you're on the other end of the spectrum and if you absolutely love it, you spend hours on it every day. More power to you, because I don't know how you do it, but I am interested in hearing either way. So leave me a comment and be sure to check out all the other INTJ videos and introvert videos that I have. And there's a lot more coming. So I'll talk to you guys soon.